Hey everyone, and welcome back to the show. If you haven't listened to part one of this episode, I suggest you go and grab it on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. If you have already listened to part one, thanks for coming back. Truth be told, don't tell any of those that haven't listened to part one, but part two is much better and funnier, in my opinion. So if you enjoyed part one, you're in the right place. Let's get on with the show. That kind of goes on to one of my answers to the next question, which is what was the most WTF moment that we faced this year? My first one was when we booked our first customer.
Yeah.
That was like, what?
Yeah, like we were actually booking a holiday for something.
Yeah, exactly, man. Because it that's when it turned from a passion project. You know, like we started BML because we love travel. We love researching, getting into the details. I mean, one of the customer reviews that we had recently was about one of the things that they loved was all the recommendations that we gave. Not just in the hotel, but you can get a cab here, and we know here's a restaurant. We know that you really like running. Here's a really nice running route for you. So we that's fun. Like, to be honest, we would and have done and do that for free.
Yeah.
It's a passion project. But then it was like, it moved from a passion project to like, what the fuck? People are actually like paying for this, which was so cool. So that was mine. That we crossed over on those questions. I think that's why I wanted to jump in. My other one for like WTF moment was when we had returning customers.
Oh yeah.
So we've had
returning customers.
We've had some customers that booked with us 3 times.
Yeah.
We've been trading for.
And they've not even. They hadn't even went on their first holiday yet they booked again. Yeah. And I just think that's like. Kudos to us.
We've been trading for 7 months. Yeah. So we're obviously doing something right to have people coming back 3 times for 3 completely different holidays as well. So it's not like the person saying, "Oh, well, we'll book our cruises through them, or we'll book our Disney through them, or whatever." Like, it's 3
different holidays.
That was my other WTF moment where I was like, not only do we get to do this, people want it. Yeah. Which I guess when you start a company, maybe you should be less humble and be like,
of course they want.
Of course they want to buy our service or whatever, but that's not why we started it. Good. Sorry, what was your WTF?
To be honest, like, the WTF moment this year was the fucking puppies.
Yeah.
That honestly feels like 3 years ago. I think I aged 5 years. I remember one of my close friends said to me, "You could really tell the puppies were taking this toll on you towards the end." And I was like, I don't know how to take that.
Yeah.
But when I look back at photos, I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was intense.
Yeah. But yeah, that was kind of all.
It was cool though.
No, it was amazing. And like Daisy seen them like when I gave them birth, and I think for her, like, she'll remember that.
Daisy helped keep some of the puppies alive.
Yeah, totally. She was feeding them, and and I think for
her, because I mean, people. This is not a puppy podcast. We've not turned into a.
I mean, if you want a puppy podcast, just let us know.
Yeah, we've not turned into a veterinary, but I mean, puppies don't just come and then it's like there was a couple that we had to
revive and feed and
yeah. There was a couple of, and we didn't lose any, which everyone was really surprised at because there was one runt and there was a couple of really small dogs in there.
Yeah.
Yes, good. The puppy still is like, what the fuck were we thinking? Why did we do that? How did you maintain your personal wellness through this chaos? We're a travel company with a focus on providing whatever wellness means to people. How did you maintain your wellness through the trials and tribulations?
So I think this year, our big thing has been tag team parenting. Mm. So I think we've really hit the nail on the head with that. Communication, so...
Did I not tag team parent before this year? Just a question.
No, we didn't really do well-being right before this year, I don't think.
Okay. So I thought that was a big...
Well, we probably didn't do it our communication wasn't good before.
You're using a lot of we here. who was like what? So yeah, I have to admit, it was really hard to tag you in the parenting relationship. Then you were just like, I've tried to tag you and you just run away.
Too fast. So tag team parenting, probably having a schedule to follow. So we use the Runner app. Shout out to Runner if they want to sponsor us.
By the way, I've told everyone about the Runner app.
Yeah,
if you're interested in getting into running,
use the Runner app.
No matter what level. I mean, I have no qualms in saying this. Runner took me from 0 to marathon.
Yeah.
With very few injuries.
Yeah.
For, a big guy like me to be out running 4 or 5 hours sometimes with very few injuries in over a year. I didn't run a season. I ran a year.
Yeah.
Runners.
So I think having that, and
I'd buy shares in Runner.
Yeah, me too. And just communication, like talking to each other, just saying like, look, I need to do this today, or maybe Damien's feeling a bit moody, but she can't get. So I just say to him, I think you need to go and work out. But yeah, I think that's
tag team parenting,
communication, schedule,
Runner app,
which is
Damien be moody. Thanks. Yeah, I have to say quite much the same. I mean, routine.
So that's what I mean by schedule, probably routine. Yeah.
Leaning on what's working, trying to cut out the things that don't work.
Not trying to do like everything at once. Like pick one thing. Like.
You talking about me now?
No, I'm probably talking about me.
Oh, not trying to do everything at once. No worries, Captain Chaos. I was actually thought about this. Like, I thought about this a lot, and I mean, I've got a podcast, Being Well Wisdom. I talk about this stuff a lot. I could talk about reading, philosophy, meditation, therapy. Like, there are so many things that I pay tribute to me sitting here the way I feel tonight. But talking about like personal wellness, one of the big things for me, I think, was quitting the gym and doing workouts at home.
Oh yeah, that's a really good point actually.
I removed all friction.
Yep.
Get out of bed when the alarm goes off. Don't question it. Get up. Go outside. No matter how you feel, lift weights.
Yep.
Done. So I think, quitting the gym, getting stuff at home that I could use was huge. It removed all the friction. And I think, I think I've worked out 7 days a week for I don't know how long. So yeah. Good. Share the weirdest or most unconventional thing you tried to stay sane this year.
Cold tub.
Yeah. Good.
So Damien told me one day that we've had the cold tub for a month or something.
Do you call it a cold tub?
Yeah, what's it called? A cold tub? Is it not called a cold tub? I just made that up.
I don't know if it's the way you say it.
Well, it's called the cold pod.
Don't give them shout outs.
The Being Well cold bubble.
For anyone interested in purchasing a cold plunge, please do get in touch because there may be some of those coming soon. We are trying to source a supplier. Okay, maybe we'll call it cold tub. Anyways, please carry on.
So we had it about, I think I'd been in it once and we'd had it about, a month, 2 months, and you were like, you're just too scared to go in that.
I antagonised you.
Well, you did, and I was like, fuck you, like, I'm not scared to go in that.
But I feel as if, like, we've been together for 13 years. Yeah. 13? Yes.
Well, it's only 13, it's not 2000. Yeah.
In a couple of hours, we'll be together. 13.
Yeah.
You tolerate me provoking you. I don't know how much it pisses you off internally. Maybe you hate me. Maybe you're going to leave me. I don't know. But I know if something's going to help you and I provoke you, that's a surefire way to get you to do it.
So yeah.
I don't know if that's good.
I don't know, but anyway,
I don't know
it was.
I don't know how you feel about it.
It worked,
but I know, especially with like things like that, because you're quite determined and stuff. So I mean, I'll come on to mine in a second, but I knew that you would benefit from it. That's why I was like, you're too scared.
Yeah, you're too scared. So anyway, the next day I got.
Do you know when I'm doing it though?
No, I was like, he's been an absolute dick. I'm not too scared. So all night
I'm just a good actor.
I was like, I got up at 5 a.m, came downstairs, and I think you were outside working out, and I seen you look out from the office, being like, fuck, she's actually out. Got my swimming costume on, went in that cold pod, and sat there for 5 minutes, because you do 3 minutes.
Yep.
And it was a big to you. And I've done it every day since. Yep. Minus going on holiday, because they don't have cold tubs on holiday, but... And I generally think it's like, so if I don't do it, there's something in my brain that just doesn't wake up. And that probably sounds absolutely mental. But I know, like, talking to people who own, like, cold tub businesses and stuff, it's something about the dopamine hit that it creates and it maintains throughout the day. But I can literally feel like when I'm sitting in that cold tub, I mean, this morning I was sitting and it was like howling wind, pouring rain.
Yeah.
But my brain was just like, I'm alive.
Yeah. You've
challenged me. Like, I've challenged my brain. Like, I mean, just, you can do you.
You're touching on a lot of different things there. I think there are a couple of, there's plenty of science out there to support cold exposure now. And my argument with the science around cold exposure and any studies that have always been done is all the studies that get done for anything medical are funded by medicine companies.
Yeah, which isn't...
So they're never going to fund a 10,000 person study on the benefits of cold water because they're not going to make any money from it. So there's not as much evidence out there. But what I would say is the evidence that you're starting to touch on there is... dopamine, the time of day you're doing it. The thing that I always lean on whenever anyone challenges me on the cold plunge is what you're triggering in the brain. So the first decision that you make of the day, other than getting out of bed, is I'm going to go and sit in this freezing cold tub of water in my back garden in the howling wind and rain. And your brain's saying, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. I sat and looked at it this morning for a couple of minutes before I went in. And my brain was like, no, Damien, you don't need to do it. But I got in. And it's a win.
Yeah.
It's the first win of the day. Yeah, good. I agree.
Is that what you had to do?
I actually had antagonising Lauren to do things that go help her. Let's mix it up a bit. What's a lesson from failure that we'll take into next year with us? Mine is being very focused with our time. So my new thing is, does this action get me towards the lifestyle that I want? So that's
so funny. Do you know what I had? Say no to things that are not contributing to the lifestyle we want to live and the life we want to build.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean...
It's not on the same page.
Yeah, exactly. And is that from failure? I don't know. I think I'm super hard on myself. You're probably quite the same. I don't think we'll come on to this, but I've learned a lot this year. I don't think there's been a lot of failures. I think we've learned a hell of a lot.
Yeah.
But I think that time is finite and I just want to be more focused next year. If you could redo one thing, what would it be?
So if redo in the sense of that we can do it again, I'd probably say the cruise. Is that what you mean?
No, I meant like in a reflective way.
Well, that's not how I answered the question. So.
Right, okay, fine.
What would you redo?
Nothing. nothing. I mean, there's many
Well, I
experiences.
wouldn't redo anything that we did this year.
There's many experiences that I would like to relive, but that's not the way life works. But I think, going back to that last question, I just think we've learned too much.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like everything, we've just learned so much this year. And it's been a crazy one. When did you feel the most well? And when were you totally burnt out?
So I think I was totally burnt out towards the end of the puppies. And that was like, I think that was my 30th birthday, and I look back at photos and I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
So that was burnt out, and I think that's I think there's.
Yeah, and I mean, we should like. This is not like. I heard a crazy stat this morning about burnout in the UK, like burnout.
Yeah.
So like,
it's not like that.
No, I don't. The question isn't like when were you burnt out.
No, I think there was a lot. So there was like we had
when
puppies.
We like fucked.
Yeah, we had the puppies. My mat leave ended. I went back to work.
You were on mat leave as well.
Yeah.
Bonkers.
So I think all those things at once.
Is that this year?
Yeah.
Jesus.
And then when did you feel most well? So I actually felt most well right before I was due to do my second half marathon in, was it August? And it hurt my back. I'd done so much training.
Yeah.
And I was so I was going for I wanted to get a PB. So
because you weren't doing your strength training.
And it was. So I wanted to do a PB, which was
too scared.
Beat my time.
You're too scared to do strength training.
And I done so much training, training with running. I was getting really good times. And it was the Sunday before the half marathon. We had been out, and we'd been out on Saturday night, and then we ran to the train station to get the car.
By the way, we've mentioned going out a couple of times in this podcast.
We
never go
out. No,
we barely ever drink wine.
I know.
We've had this bottle of wine for weeks.
I know. And I hurt my back when I was running with you, and we weren't even running fast.
Listen.
And that was it. I couldn't
hurt
run
back because you couldn't keep up with me.
No, it was because I was running too slow.
Probably was. Your body was probably like, what is this movement?
I think it's because I had the two dogs, and you were like, can't take the dogs.
No.
But yeah, so I felt most well then. So I remember going out and feeling really good, I'm going to do this half marathon, and then hurt my back, and that was me out for 6 weeks. Had to miss a half marathon. It was rubbish, but yeah.
Before we move on to 2025, what's something that you're proud of that nobody sees?
So the first thing that I thought of was how we just get on with things.
Right.
No job in the house is someone specific's job.
Apart from taking the bins out.
Oh yeah, that's my job, but we're a team. We're 100% a team. I hear so many people I'll do this, I'll do that, and it's just we just do it. And yeah,
it's more. I think we just time block things.
But I think
if I've got X to do, then you do X.
Yeah.
If you're doing X and X needs done, I do X. Apart from the bins. Because the bins.
I'm walking the dogs. But yeah, it's just that's something that I'm really proud of. How we just get on with things. Whatever. Yeah. What about you?
How we parent.
Oh, that's a good one.
And I don't profess that we get everything right, or that we're amazing parents, or whatever. But I think that what we've started to see. I think, I reflect on parenting quite a lot in trying to think about how I want to be for the kids. That's something that I'm quite passionate about. And I think that how we are trying to role model, we're starting to see Daisy, show signs of our behaviours in her behaviours, and not because we're dictating to her.
She started doing a journal.
She started doing a journal. We've never spoke about doing a journal with her. She sees us doing it. She started working out. We've never forced her to work out. Moderation. She talks about moderation a lot. I mean, it's cool.
Yeah.
So, and nobody really sees that side of things. So, I think a lot of people, or a lot of the feedback that I get is, how do you fit everything in? How do you do everything that you do in a day and blah, blah. And I think that one of the things I'm always really conscious of is that, yeah, there is that side of us that we work extremely hard, but it's really nice to know that we do, but, you know, we're still managing to achieve...
It's not impacting the kids.
We're still managing to achieve our most important job.
Which is being parents.
So yeah, being a parent. Good. 2024. Done. Easy. Done. Boxed off. Puppies. London. Hilda. Caribbean. Running. Oh my God. What a year. 2025. What's one piece of advice you'd give to future us?
Do hard things.
Do hard things? Oh. Any more context on that? Or?
So I think I've realised that if something's hard, it's worth doing. If something's easy, then it's just whatever.
Oof, that's prolific.
Do you think so?
Yeah. Who said that? Is that like Nietzsche or Socrates or Seneca or...
Being well Lauren.
Wow. You stole that from me. You're a shite bag.
I stole it from you. What,
that's my...
Well, were you saying being well wisdom?
I said it to you last night.
Oh, right, okay.
I literally said to you...
Well, that must have been what came to my head when I was preparing.
You shite bag. Mine?
What's yours?
Are you interested in mine?
Of course.
Do you want to just... I mean, if to be honest, if you read my notes, you'd probably steal it anyways. Don't be scared about what people think.
It's a good one.
I mean, I think aside from doing a good job for our customers, being a good parent, like we try and do things for the right reasons. Do you know, like we're not out to antagonize anyone, we're not out to hurt anyone. I'm a lover, not a fighter. Like, you know, so within reason, you know, I'm not saying like, oh, you know, don't care what other people think while I have horrendous views on the world.
Yeah.
Just, you know, we know what we want. We know how we want to be. Don't let the fear of judgment from those that you wouldn't want their lives worry you. So, yeah. Got any plans for 2025?
Yes. So I'm starting a running community.
You've started a running community?
Well, I've started a running community. It's called Being Well Running Community. So it's for women. And it's about bringing women together that are like-minded people who want to run, make friends, have fun. So basically the idea came from every Saturday I was going out running, either by myself or with Lex. And it's actually quite lonely, just running by yourself. Sad.
I prefer it.
And I very much went through the lonely phase of my life this year, and Being Well Wisdom will probably touch at some point on the lonely phase. Don't know if you will or not, but I think it's a good topic to cover because I think some people probably won't recognise what that is. And that's why where the idea came from was actually, could there be people out there that actually want to do this with me? And so I recorded a video, which by the way for me was really difficult, and it took me about 22 times to do it. And then I thought, actually, I'm just going to do it like normal and be myself. Yeah. And actually, I got a lot of feedback saying that I came across as really genuine, and it made people want to come to the group, which was for feedback for me.
Well, yeah, because you tried to record it so many times, like scripted, and then you just recorded talking to the camera
on the stairs, like I put on
yourself.
And it worked so much better. So I've started that, and I think I've got 21 women that have signed up to it, which is mental. I thought there would be like maybe one or two people who would want to come along, but so our first meetup is on the 4th of January. So I'm sure the next podcast that we do, we can maybe cover off how that went and how it's going, but I'm super excited.
I'll maybe have you on my podcast. And we can do I can do an interview with you about it.
Yeah, totally. So yeah, that's my plans for 2025 is to build that. I've got a lot of ideas how to expand on that. I'm going to collaborate with a few local businesses as well, which is quite exciting. What not quite, it is exciting. Something that I never thought I'd do in my life. So yeah, it's doing hard things.
Starting a running community and having 21 people sign up
immediately
is pretty good going.
But yeah, and then just focus on the business and yeah, just make this the best year yet.
Good.
What about you?
I mean, I've got 12 goals for this year, so I don't think so I'm going to be like, and then this, and then this. People will be like, oh, snooze. But I think probably one of the most exciting ones is we will launch a new arm of the Being Well family in January.
Yep.
I've been working on it in the background, so keep your eyes peeled for that. Super exciting. We've done our goal setting.
Yeah.
If by the way, if anyone wants help with a goal setting, on my other podcast, I've given away an annual review template which helps with goal setting.
Yeah, it does.
And you've done it.
Yeah.
I do it every year. The reason that I've done it and shared it with people is because I really believe in it and I think it's amazing. You've done it and I think you felt I think you found it really useful.
100%. I was quite buzzing afterwards because reflecting and then planning is a good thing to do.
But I think for me, I want to grow the business next year naturally. I think if we can get returning custom like we've had this year, we've had people come back 3 times, 2 times. We've been trading for 7 months. I think that would be a really audacious thing to aim for.
Yeah.
And achieve. If you could pick one dream destination for next year or project, what would it be?
The Maldives.
The Maldives?
Yeah.
You love them. Yeah. By the way, I feel as if you only bring the Maldives up when we record a podcast because we don't talk about it a lot. And then
shout out to tour operators that want to send us to the Maldives. No, I just
any farm trips that want us to say no. Okay.
What about you?
I think it goes back to we've discussed this on one of the previous episodes, but I'm really conscious right now on taking trips with the kids that I think will give us what we need as a family at that time of the kids' lives, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So I think if you were to ask me, what would your dream trip be next year? That's a very different answer to within the context of having a 1-year-old and a 7-year-old. So I think if you put it in that context, the trip that I would probably pick for next year is I think I'd like to go to Disney.
Really?
Yeah.
I never thought I'd hear those words come out of your mouth.
Yeah, I think I'd like to go out to Disney. There's so many things that I want to do with the kids.
Yeah.
I just want to do it at a time that I think they'll both enjoy it. I like Daisy and I went to see Mufasa 2 today and I was telling her about going on a safari and her eyes were lighting up and all the stories that I've had about being in South Africa and driving around game reserves and bumping into rhinos and getting in between elephants and the young and Daisy was just like, what? You could see it,
Yeah.
I want to give her that experience.
You're not going to get that at Disney.
No, well, there is.
Oh yeah, the Kilimanjaro safari, yeah.
Which is amazing. But what I mean is, imagine trying to do that with legs.
No.
Wreck-It Ralph.
No.
I mean,
You can't do an African safari with legs.
He'd be leaning out the window.
Yeah.
Trying to feed the lions or something. So no.
Can I pet your dog?
So I think, Disney. To be honest, I want to do some camping and stuff next year. I want to rent a camper van. I want to spend time outside.
Which by the way, being will travel, we can rent camper vans.
Yes. Hit us up. I kind of also, just as a bit of a stretch, Disney maybe, but also I'm thinking about Thailand because I've actually got a colleague and friend that's spending 3 months in Thailand next year with his family, and he professes how good it is for kids of any age. So I think I'd roll the dice on
Thailand.
taking his advice.
Yeah, there's a lot of nice hotels in Thailand.
Yeah, I think how they treat kids, how they treat families,
Family, yeah.
you know.
Big family.
But what's one thing you're not going to do next year?
Allow people or do things that don't add value.
Snap. Did you read my notes?
No.
Okay, snap. Allowing people who don't add value is mine.
Wow.
If you could achieve only one goal next year, what would it be?
Probably, I've not wrote anything down for this actually, sorry. But probably touching on our parenting thing is just continuing to be role models for our kids.
Have you copied my notes?
I've not got anything written down for this one. Excuse me.
Alright.
People are going to be wondering what you're looking at.
Be great role models for the kids.
Oh.
Right. Lightning round. Quick fire questions.
Okay.
Biggest lesson learned in one sentence.
Don't be an NPC, a non-playable character.
Wow. It's meant to be the lightning round. There's so many questions I want to ask about that, but I'm not going to. Word that sums up.
What about you?
Okay. My biggest lesson learned in one sentence. The lonely chapter.
I feel like we need to touch on NPC and lonely chapter, like at some point in a podcast. You can maybe do that on
We will do it on Being Well Wisdom.
Yeah.
But if anyone wants
to know,
if anyone wants to know more about those things, then please reach out.
Yeah.
Because I think, I'm going to ask about yours. You know about the lonely chapter, but what's some words that sum up next year?
Yeah, I said it already. The best yet.
Yeah.
What did you put?
The best yet.
You
put the best yet.
Oh wow.
The best yet. Snap. That's quite strange that we've had so much alignment. We never we genuinely very rarely get the chance to sit down and talk.
I was laughing about when you talked about Kielder. We came back from Kielder and I feel like I've not spoke to you in like 2 weeks.
I know.
But anyway,
intense, man.
It is, but it's fine.
What would you tell yourself a year ago if you could?
Stop thinking about it and just do it. What are you laughing at?
I've written, do it.
Oh, no way!
I mean...
You know what they say? Great minds think alike.
That's what it is. No, great. Well, thank you for that. What a very quick lightning round that was, because we both had the same answers, despite you not copying mine.
Why would I copy your answers? The first one...
No, I've checked. You didn't have anything written down. That's fine, I believe you. But that brings us to an end, so we can go and enjoy our New Year's Eve. It's now 21.
I go to bed.
It's now 9 o'clock.
I need to walk the dogs.
You need to walk the dogs, empty the bins.
I don't need to empty the bins.
No, but we're going to go and enjoy our New Year's Eve now. Just want to say a big thanks for all of the customers, return customers, all of the support this year, for everything. You know, the podcast, friends, the people that like our things that we post on social media, every post, the people that share it, the people that have given us a chance. Just a big thanks for that. Also, thanks for listening to this podcast. Please, if you enjoy it, pass the pod, send it to someone that you think might enjoy it, and subscribe, like and subscribe to our channel, and leave honest reviews wherever you are listening. Remember, we said at the beginning that we were going to give the code word for the £50 off voucher. What's the code word?
I don't know the code word.
You don't know the code word?
No. What is the code word?
I thought you were given the code word.
Should I just make one up?
Yeah.
Being well.
That's 2 words.
Oh.
2025.
Yeah.
Good. Thank you. Also, if anyone wants to reach out for any holiday planning, booking, whatever it is, excursions, insurance, transfers, please do. We've got over 400 suppliers. We have beat prices in the last week for customers for all the big guns. I'll not name them on here in case they try and take us down. But because we've got 400 suppliers, we can usually get a really good price for you. We like to think that we're friendly faces and easy to deal with. Check out our customer reviews. We've released our first advert this week. We'll be releasing a second advert next week and a third advert the week after that. So you can check out our customer reviews. We are at all protected and trained. So we can help you with all of your holiday planning needs for 2025 and beyond.
Oh, and also if anyone wants to come on our podcast, they can.
Really?
Yeah, I think it'd be cool to have somebody on our podcast.
That was a left field addition.
It popped into my mind that then my mind went like this, and I was like, right, okay.
Right, good. Well, if anyone wants to come on our podcast, come on. Let's do it.
I'm not sure what we're talking about.
No idea. No, Lauren will sort that out. Lauren will interview you. But yeah, until next time, happy travels and stay well.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thanks, guys.
You're going to wave to the camera like you did when you started? Bye.